This is Tom Gandley. Welcome back to the Dispatch and Freedom's Herald with Tom Gandley. Let's open up the Dispatch right now and see what we've got. While the U.S. government leadership meanders about, concerning itself with mainly domestic issues, it's likely the invasion of Taiwan by the People's Republic of China is imminent. According to a Times of India report, a meeting of the People's Liberation Army officials found its way to YouTube and after close examination appears to be authentic. Details of the invasion preparation include the need to protect the hub of Chinese industry, the Pearl River Delta, since the loss of that would potentially wreck China's economy. The military operation, by the numbers, would involve at least 140,000 personnel, over 900 ships, and pieces of unmanned equipment. Logistical support by China's biggest defense contractors was also a big part of the plan. The classified video on YouTube, which is really only audio with English translation, was recorded about May 15th this year and is about an hour long. An intense manhunt, as one can rightly understand, is underway for the individual who recorded and posted the strategic and operational dialogue. Crime in the U.S. continues to rise at a furious pace. Progressive Soros-funded DAs in L.A. and New York City release hardened criminals back into society after committing crimes for which they should be incarcerated. In New York City, police retirements and departures of all kinds from the NYPD are up 38 to 40% in 2021, as overall crime in New York is also up approximately 39%. This may be a low number, as it is estimated that about 40% of all crime was never reported to the FBI in 2021. In San Francisco, Chisa Bowden, if I'm saying that right, leftist progressive DA, was removed from office through recall election on June 13th, and Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon's removal through recall seems imminent as well, since the minimum number of signatures to raise his removal from office to a public vote has recently been reached. Federally, AG Merrick Garland, who has completely politicized the Department of Justice, waltzes around the criminal acts of protesters at the homes of Supreme Court justices, and his Department of Justice refuses to comment on the now 23 reported vandalism acts at pro-life clinics across the U.S. All indications are he will be impeached after the midterms in November. Garland would be the first AG to be impeached in the U.S., should this occur. The Biden White House, according to NBC News, is in a state of complete disarray. The news agency Politico also claims, perhaps erroneously, that lots of white supremacy might be to blame. This is based on the recent departure of 21 black White House staffers. Biden is also frequently corrected by staff closer to the decision-making process, and that might be somewhat consoling, except that Biden has been having fits at his low approval ratings in every single category at this point. Previous President Trump's approval was several points higher at this point in his presidency. Monkeypox is the latest medical panic being pushed on the American public. The first cases noted in the U.S. were in people returning from Nigeria. The disease, which causes pus-filled lesions on the skin, which take up to a month to disappear, are made worse during exposure to the sun. It is known to be transmitted by droplets in the breath of an infected person, but direct physical contact with an infected person is also shown to spread the disease. The pox has been 3 to 6% fatal in the past, while the current strain seems to be weaker, causing a mortality rate of only about 1%. The World Health Organization has identified 300 cases or suspected cases worldwide as of May 21st. The cases mainly, but not exclusively, made up of gay or bisexual men, with most of those cases in Europe. So far, the U.S. has only 21 confirmed cases as of June 6th. All can be linked back to travel to Africa. Older adults who received the smallpox vaccine up to 1980 are either immune or at extremely low risk of catching monkeypox. So far, cases have been mild, and those suffering from it are recovering and isolating at home. But according to Dr. Jennifer McQuiston of the CDC, monkeypox can be very painful and lead to permanent scarring. TikTok is being sued by the mother of a 10-year-old girl who passed away after engaging in something called the Blackout Challenge, which involves an individual taking the challenge to choke themselves until they pass out. Nyla Anderson did pass out, was almost immediately found by her mother, who rushed her to the hospital, where she could not be revived. TikTok's For You page determined via algorithm that the Blackout Challenge was an activity little Nyla would like. Other daredevil-type challenges appear on the TikTok application. Another reason parents should be more closely monitoring what their kids are exposed to online. Adding to rising meat prices and inflation overall, approximately 10,000 cattle in Kansas died when temperatures reached over 106 degrees in some parts of the state, and humidity was also unusually high. This hurts cattlemen as well as consumers, since the price of cattle feed has skyrocketed, mainly due to the war in Ukraine, the world's sixth largest grain exporter. Because of the increased costs, farmers have decreased their herds to keep costs under control. In California, Paul Pelosi, husband of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, was arrested for drunk driving after a two-car accident around midnight involving a Jeep and Pelosi's 2021 Porsche. Nobody was hurt, and Pelosi was taken to jail and released at about 7:30 a.m. that morning. Pelosi faces 2 misdemeanor charges for the accident and driving under the influence. Nancy Pelosi, who was delivering a commencement address at Brown University over the weekend it happened, had no comment on the matter. And just in case you missed it, comedian Carol Burnett once stated that comedy equals tragedy plus time. The cannabis industry can be quite lucrative, and previous World Boxing Federation champion Mike Tyson is getting into the edible gummies as a side business. The company, Tyson 2.0, has begun producing Mike Bites, which are, and some of you probably are already putting the pieces together and smiling about this, shaped like little ears. The humor in this stems from an ugly incident in 1997 when Tyson bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear while in the ring, after Holyfield supposedly headbutted Tyson one time too many. Tyson and Holyfield have since buried the hatchet and have regained a mutual respect. The cannabis gummies have a small bite mark exactly where Tyson removed a piece of Holyfield's ear. No word on whether Holyfield will be given a bite of the profits. Glad that's over. And that's been The Dispatch. I'm Tom Gandley. Technical support has been provided by Brad Neufeld. Please stay tuned to Resilience Talk Network for more uplifting and informational podcasts.